Welcome you all to Global Online University. Here we are back with our Maharashtra set preparation for paper 1, that is for upcoming examination of 2021, which is scheduled in month of September. So this will be the set exam lecture series. We'll be having the concept clearance with the help of lectures, and this is the first lecture on the unit teaching aptitude. Now, first, let's understand what exactly Global Online University has for you. In order to boost up your preparation, Global Online University has brought a comprehensive course which is dedicated for paper 1, which will be started with the help of WhatsApp batches. Now, this particular course is designed in such a way that these are the facilities which we'll be getting, that is complete syllabus notes of paper 1. You'll be getting 440 complete syllabus test along with detailed solutions in the PDF form. You'll be getting previous year question papers, that is from 2011 to 2020, with solutions. It will help you to give you the comprehensive understanding of how the questions are or what type of questions are expected. You will also get complete syllabus video lectures unit wise, topic wise. If you want to enroll, you can download the Global Online University app. At the same time, if you have any doubts, you can contact on the given number. The fees, excluding video lectures, is 999. But if you are interested in video lectures, so the fees will be 1999. So if you have any further queries, please get in touch with the given number. So let's start with the first unit, that is teaching aptitude. Now, before we start with the unit, let's understand what is teaching aptitude basically as per your syllabus. So the unit name is teaching aptitude, wherein the first topic is dedicated on teaching, where you have to understand concept, objectives of teaching. We'll be seeing two objectives at general level as well as at specific level. We have levels of teaching. For your syllabus, it is you have three levels: memory level, understanding level, and reflective level. Then you have characteristics and basic requirements. So our topic or our lecture today is targeted with this particular topic, that is one. Later on, we'll see second topic, subtopic is learners characteristics, where you have to understand the characteristics of adolescent and adult learners. Which type of characteristics: academic, social, emotional, and cognitive. At the same time, you have to understand the concept of individual differences. Coming to the third topic will be factors affecting teaching. Related to what? Related to teacher, related to learner, support material, instructional facilities, learning environment, and institution. The fourth topic is based on methods of teaching in institutions of higher learning, which will be teacher-centered versus learner-centered methods. At the same time, offline versus online methods. You have the concepts of Swayam Prabha, moves, etc. There are many more. Then the fifth topic is basically dedicated to teaching support system, which is traditional, modern, and that is ICT based, which is nothing but information and communication technology. Then the last topic of teaching aptitude is based on evaluation system, which is basically elements and types of evaluation for the in the education. Evaluation based on choice based credit system, that is CBCS, okay, as per the new pattern. Then we have computer based testing, innovations and evaluation system. So we are going to basically cover one lecture for one topic. So today's lecture, let us summarize what is the today's lecture about. So today's lecture basically is about the teaching aptitude, that is unit teaching aptitude, in which we are going to see the concept of teaching. We are going to talk about objectives at two levels, that is general and specific. We are going to understand the role of teacher. We are going to see the levels of teaching, and we are going to talk about the components of teaching. So let's start with let's understand what exactly is the meaning of teaching. Okay, so let's first understand the concept. So teaching is nothing but it is a communication, or you can say, or you can use the word as learning. So basically, it is nothing but a learning. You can call us teaching as in learning, as well as communication, which takes place between two or more people. So yes, the meaning of teaching is nothing but learning or communicating. But this learning and communication which happens should what show which type of impact, or which show which type of result or an outcome. So in this, it is basically is about influencing each other by the ideas and the process of interaction, where the teacher's behavior is analyzed in the terms of teaching as well as general skills. So if you see, if we put it in a simple word, teaching is nothing but a process which happens between two people, that is teacher and a student. So whatever teaching is done by the teacher, which should help to influence the learning of a student, wherein we have always seen this, there has to be an overall development of the student, there has to be a modification in the behavior of student, and when this happens, then only we can tell that teaching is taking place. Otherwise, just communicating an ideas does not makes any sense. There has to be an influence, and then only we can say that the teaching is happening. So if you get this question as an assertion or a reasoning question, or if the question is bit twisted, so basically in teaching what should happen, it is not important that only communication should happen, or communication takes place. It's basically about influencing the behavior, modification of behavior, um, bringing about overall development in the personality. So that is called as teaching. Now, here in the next slide, I have just listed some of the important definitions by some of the important personalities. So you don't get such questions nowadays asking about, but still we have to be prepared from all the side. So you just have to pause this video and just write down these things in your notepad or notebooks, and just preserve it and just go through it very well. So if we talk about Aurobindo, teaching is nothing. I mean to say, according to him, the first true principle or true teaching is that nothing can be taught. Okay, you can't teach the students, but yes, you can definitely influence them. You can bring a change in the behavior, which will help them to understand and apply it in at their own. Okay, but it cannot be taught. According to B.F. Skinner, it's an arrangement of contingencies of reinforcement. Reinforcement is that in the form of the punishment and the reward, which we are going to see in the behavioral theories. Then, according to Thomas Green, it is about development of a child. According to Moss and Vigno, it is about understanding and guiding of children as an individual. According to Morrison, it is a mature personality, and it's a difference between, contact between mature and a less mature personality, which is designed to further the education. I mean to say, to educate the less mature person. Then we have the other authors also who has given the meaning or the definition of teaching. You just have to go through it once, especially the important ones I have already highlighted, that is Aurobindo, Skinner, Green, Wingo, and Morrison. So these are, these names have frequently been seen in the earlier papers, so there can be a twisted question based on that. Okay, next is, yes, the next part is objectives of teaching. Now these objectives are are nothing but the general objectives. We have just learned that developing an overall personality is nothing but teaching. Shaping the behavior or modification of the behavior is teaching. Helping the student to adjust and live harmoniously, that is adaptability, is one of the objective of teaching. Encouraging the students to learn and think for themselves, that is nothing but bringing analytical ability out of them, or helping the students to uh, develop their analytical ability, and to acquaint the student with the content of the subject, so that they are clear with the subject knowledge also, or the concepts of the subject also. Coming to the objectives of teaching in a specific form, that is specific objectives, to develop critical and logical thinking. So when we talk about levels of teaching, which we are going to do, that is memory level, the understanding level, and reflective level, which is highest level. Like, so in this particular level, we have to make sure that the teacher must build this type of reflective learning in the child. But how does this comes? This only comes with the help of the child learn to identify the problem, he learns to analyze his own problem, he learns to establish the relationship, he talks about relevant facts and principles. So all this will come only when the child is being taught how to learn in the form of reflective learning. Then that is to create interest in the studies. So yes, this is also very important, that unless and until the student does not take importance, or does not take the studies with seriously, it will definitely impact his learning process. To develop an understanding level, because see, memory level is just an initiative of teaching, but it is important that without memory level we can't go ahead. So the memory level should is important, but it should later push the child towards the understanding level and then the reflective level. So if it doesn't happen, then it will be difficult for a child to proceed further. So in that case, yes, to develop the understanding, understanding with examples of interpreting the things in the form of charts, graphical presentation, discriminating between two things, or finding out the error. So this all takes place in understanding. Again, here if you all have all the statements, so if you go to the statements, you may get a question, understanding level is reflected out of which of the following. So they will just twist the question. You have to be very clear once you have to go through all these points properly. Next, talking about knowledge. So in order to understand the knowledge, this is basically the memory level. So you have to make sure that the child recognizes the facts, the child recollects. That's all part of the memory level, the recalls or recollects. He understands or he reads the information. So these are the certain specific objectives which a child should be aware of, or should be given importance by the teacher in his or her teaching process. Then yes, so basically, what is the role of a teacher? So role of a teacher in teaching is, first of all, facilitating the students by explaining them the new concepts, okay, making them familiar with the new things, giving them exposure to the new things, providing them the real world, the contextual based learning environments, focusing on realistic approaches, which many a times we forget. And the child is not aware, that's the reason the child fails always in an application based implementation of application based learning. So we have to give him the realistic approach. We have to encourage the child to ask the questions, to a certain extent, to find the answers independently. So these all will happen in order to develop the understanding as well as the reflective level of learning. Then we have to enhance the collaborative learning, with the help of team building or teamwork or the projects within the children. Next, going to the levels of learning, levels of teaching, very, very important topic. One answer is expected. It has been seen that frequently, either in the form of match the following or factual based questions, these questions are found. So basically understand that there are three levels as per the syllabus. One is memory, understanding, reflective, which is highest. Now, apart from this, I have given the persons who have developed this level. Memory level developed by Herbert, understanding by Morrison, reflective by Hunt. So when we talk about memory level, it is the least thoughtful level. It is basically, I mean to say, it is about memory level is about teaching or factual information, making them familiar, making them helping them to recall, to recognize and retain the knowledge. Going ahead with the next level is understanding level, where they have to be more thoughtful. They have to explore themselves, they have to present themselves, they have to learn the organization, recitation with the help of oral presentation or written paper. Then slowly moving towards the last level, the highest level, that is reflective level, where they have to basically two phases are taken care of: problem raising and problem solving. It involves a critical examination of an idea or a problem, and this particular level has an approach that is called as problem solving approach. So you may get a question like, reflective level emphasizes on which type of approach. So it is basically a problem solving approach. Next, going ahead is the components of teaching. So there are three components of teaching, that is the teacher, the student, and the curriculum. So we have seen the role of a teacher, that is a vital role. Teacher plays a vital role, organizing, planning, leading, and controlling the teaching process. Okay, facilitating or helping out the student. At the same time, the role of a student, its students are the dependent factor on the teachers. They, like for example, they have to, they have to understand what has been taught and what has been conveyed to them. So yes, but without them, the process of teaching cannot be completed. So they are one of the most important component again. Coming to curriculum, it's a medium of interaction which happens or which takes place between teacher and student. So it is an intervening variable, we can say. A teacher is an independent factor, student is an dependent factor, and the curriculum is an intervening variable. Okay, where the methods of teaching, strategies, techniques, all these things, are used uh, in order to make sure that teaching takes place, and that is between whom? Between the teacher and the student. So these are the components of teaching. There was once a question depending on the fact variables, dependent variable or independent factor, or intervening variable. So you should be very clear with this concept. Next is the qualities of effective teacher. So when we talk about effective teacher, the teacher who really makes a difference. Okay, so yes, the teacher plays a role of cares for a student. So the role of caring has been played. Empathetic listening, there is always a question on empathetic listening, the one who supports, one understands, and then either suggest or guide or instruct. Understanding, the teacher is very along with supportive, the teacher is understanding, helps, knows the student very well, is fair, it's not is not does not have a biased opinion, is respects the students equally, has the social interaction with students, and definitely it promotes enthusiasm and motivation for learning within the students. So these are the effective qualities, or these are the qualities of effective teachers. Then for the day or for the lecture, this is the last topic, that is techniques for better classroom management. So what are the basic techniques which a teacher needs in order to have a classroom management, a class control, discipline? So that is focusing, direct instruction, monitoring properly, giving a non-verbal cue properly, have maintaining a discipline and a consistency in the behavior. So all these factors will help the teacher, or all these techniques basically will help the teacher to have a better classroom management. So that's all for the day for this first lecture. Tomorrow we'll be taking, I mean to say, next video will be coming on the next subtopic of teaching aptitude. So same like we will be doing all the topics, and again we will go ahead or proceed further for uh, the next unit. Okay, uh, and before we proceed further for the next unit, we'll be completing the topic called as what, the crash course on the teaching aptitude once the lecture gets over. So time, with all the timely intervals, you will keep on getting the information, what exactly is going to happen, what exactly the things are going to take place. So just tighten your seat belt and get set, ready for your preparation for our upcoming examination. You have ideally 3 months time. I have not counted September, June, July, August. These are the 3 months which you have to really give your best and ensure that your efforts are working in the right direction in order to get cleared at this coming attempt. Thank you very much. So see you in the next class with the next subtopic. Thank you, everyone.